What's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for the John Browner podcast. We here. It's Monday, and you knew. Wait a minute. It's Thursday, buddy. Whoops, my bad. It's Thursday. We do this thing Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And on today's podcast, we're talking about the debut of Mize. Not very good. We're talking about the scam. I'm going to show you. I'm going to blow the lid off. I'm going to Watergate this NBA scam. You guys won't believe what I've uncovered that you've probably already seen. That's not breaking news, but I'm going to blow the lid off this scam. And by the way, guess what's happening tonight? And I got one more thing for you miserable fellas. I have one more thing for you today that I think is going to lead to a lot of interesting conversation. What's up, everybody? I'm John Brown, and that's right. That's me. I'm John Brown. And if you want to reach me, you can always reach me at the John Browner Podcast at gmail.com. That's how you reach the show in long form. If you want to say anything to me about the show, or if you want to just have a longer conversation than what we can have here in the chat pack, feel free to head over to the John Browner Podcast at gmail.com and do so. All inquiries are welcomed, good and bad. It's okay to send a hate. It's okay to send a hate email. It's all right. It's all right. As y'all can tell, I'm still grinding with this throat thing, but I'm gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. Shout out to the chat pack, man. Everybody always asks me what's up with the co-host. What's up with the co-host? I do have a co-host. I have about 100 co-hosts today. These are all the people who show up in the chat pack and say their piece. Shout out to Tito in early. Shout out to Excuseless Runner, hoping that buffering don't get you today. Shout out to the Rigby family. Shout out to Ass Technology. Shout out, man. Excuseless says, this is the highlight of my work mornings. I make it to the podcast, only got a couple hours. Shout out. Shout out to Charles Gooden in the chat. What it do, bro? So, there's a couple of things we want to talk about on the show, but before we get to that, as always, I want to encourage you guys to check out the Sporting Tribune. I work with the Sporting Tribune now, and I want you guys to be able to share in what everything I'm bringing to them and what they're bringing to me, and how we're moving sports. We're trying to create something over there, and I'd love it if you guys would come be a part of it. It's the Sporting Tribune. We are live on their X account, on my X account, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Kick. So holla at your boy. We also on the road, man. On the road again, but it just can't wait to get on the road again. I don't know the rest of the song. I legit don't know the rest of the song. We on the road to 500, man. We're trying to get 500 subscribers. We are getting there. It is happening. We are working towards that. Head over to YouTube, like the show, subscribe to the show. Most importantly, subscribe to the show, then like the show. Subscribe to the show, then like the show. What it do, Super? I see you. I'm getting a lot of text right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Hold on. So, yeah. There we go. What else am I looking at? I'm looking at something else in here. Let me see what else we got. I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. One more thing before we get rolling into the stuff. Actually, two more things. The John Browner Podcast Shop is always open 24/7. The John Browner Podcast Shop is where you help the show continue going on. Shout out to Excuseless Runner for running in his gear. Shout out to the Rigby family for doing their thing. I got the Ass Island stickers available at the John Browner Podcast, but the Ass Island stickers cost more to ship than they cost to own. So I'm trying to figure out a workaround. Maybe I'll have some stickers on Monday, which I'm trying not to self-promote, but maybe I'll have some stickers on Monday when I see y'all at the Celebration of Life for BR. The big old rascal, man. August 10th at the American Legion in Encinitas at 5 p.m. It starts at 5 p.m. There will be free BR burgers with jalapenos and barbecue sauce on them because he's the only person I've ever met in my life that would eat that. Now everybody's going to have to eat one. And I mean, but it's an honor though, man. It's an honor. So come through August 10th. That's Monday to the American Legion in Encinitas. I would give you the address if you're a super old person and you need to write it down because you're watching this on your phone. It's 210 West F Street in Encinitas. It starts at 5 p.m. I hope you guys can make it. I don't know what time it ends. Please don't ask me. It goes until it stops. There'll be a live podcast there as well. It may or may not be the final time you see John, Scott, and Alex in the same place at the same time doing the pod. Linda Welby 100% will be there. I think they said Darren Smith's going to drop by. Marty's going to drop by. Kimberly Hunt, Billy Ray's wife, I think she will be there. I think that's been what do they call that? That's been not proven. Whatever. You know what I mean. That's been reported. Burt Grossman may be there. So maybe a lot of people there. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. We'll see, man. Yes. Excuseless. Look at that. Shout out to B. Thompson. Yeah, man, my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 45 tomorrow. So do what you want with that. What's up, Coach Alex? How the hell did you have this in your calendar, excuseless? That's crazy. Ask Technology in the building. Allegedly is not the allegedly is reserved for not good things. So I don't think Kimberly will allegedly be there. Confirmed. It always comes to me. It is confirmed that Kimberly will be there live with some type of news hit. So, if you can make it, show up. We 100% appreciate it. Check out the pod. Thank you, Aztec. And no, Crystal Davis, I'm not freezing. You're freezing. Is it on YouTube? I think the show freezes on YouTube. Yeah, this never happens on X. What up, Joe Rigby? So let's get random. That is hella random. So let's get this. Okay, what's Super talking about? Let's talk about the NBA scam, because if I keep talking about the buffering, it'll get me. So just know if you watch it on X, it doesn't buffer. For some reason, at points in times, it buffers on YouTube, but it comes back. That's all I got for you. So let's talk about the scam. Did you know that there is a scam going on amongst the NBA teams? Have any of you seen, what up, A-Mac? Have any of you seen this video? Now, we're going to talk about this on the other side and ignore the sound. I couldn't take the sound out. Listen to this. Watch this video.
The next pick of the Motor City Cruise draft, Team Motor City selects Hendrix Clement de Keats from Opol El Mater Catholic.
What's going on? What in the hell is going on? Listen, I don't know what's going on with the Detroit Pistons G League team, the Motor City Miracle, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know what's going on with the other 7 teams that are having these open tryouts where you got to pay $250 to $350 depending on the team to live out your hoop dream. What you just saw in that video is the Detroit Pistons G League affiliate holding open tryouts to make the team. Ask Technology, yes, this is the same G League that Bronny James is averaging 25 points in. So when I tell y'all the G League is irrelevant, I'm assuming this is done for content. I'm assuming that these people who went out, what up, Graham, who dropped 250 to 350 bucks. I think 7 different teams are doing this open tryout. Chicago's one of them. Toronto's one of them. Dallas is one of them. Like, small bit of information. When I was playing basketball, when I was active, and when the G League first bubbled up, you couldn't get in the building without an invite. You had to be cordially invited to try out for one of these teams. And you mean to tell me now they just taking dudes for 350 bucks, 250 bucks? Come on, y'all. The NBA, this is a scam, dog. The NBA don't need this money. The NBA does not need 250 bucks from your local D-boy. They don't need 250 bucks from your local YN to make the league survive. What the hell is going on? What is going on? I don't even know if you can call what you saw in there basketball. I've seen better games at the LA Fitness, dog. I've seen better games at 24-hour fitness, bro. I'm about to be 45 years old. I guarantee you I could do better than what you saw. And I ain't played in years. I ain't played an up and down game of basketball in years. I could do better than that. I promise you I can. It wasn't one screen. It wasn't one play. See, this is how I know they stealing these folks' money, because I've been at these trials. I've been at some of these cattle calls. First of all, they make you exercise till you want to quit. I'm talking about sprints, defensive slides, closeouts. They test your basketball acumen, your knowledge, before they care whether you can run or jump, because the guys who can really jump high and the guys who can really run fast, they've already found them. They found them through college. They found them through overseas. They already have those guys. So now if you make the G League team, normally, they exhaust you to see what your conditioning is, because you knew you were coming there. And if you can't come there in shape, then you're not professional. 2, they didn't test your acumen. They run you through some plays. And they do 3 or 4 options. Shout out to Ask Technology. They make you run some plays. So they know you know how to execute an offensive play. And these plays are rudimentary. Like 4 across, a weak ball screen, double screen on the weak side. Like, very, very, and if you thought what I just said sounded like a different language, you can't be on the team. You've already bombed the tryout. The fact that they got these guys out here running around like it's a circus. Let me run this video again so y'all can see it. Let me run this video again. Look at this. Turn over. Look at the guy in the red shorts. Look at this guy in the red shorts. They didn't even get Buddy's shorts.
Team Motor City selects
Stealing money, bro.
Hendricks,
Stealing
Clement
money.
Day Keats from
Stealing money. They got 2 courts in this going, by the way. Buddy did train that shot. They got this going on multiple courts. So this like $2-3 grand a court. The NBA could do better than this, man. The NBA could do better than this. At one point in time, the G League was reserved for guys who were hanging on to the league, guys who did not get drafted and were either going to go overseas or take a little bit of money to go to the G League, or an overseas guy who really wanted to try his hand at making the NBA. That's what the G League used to be. Now you telling me they just scraping dudes up off the street? Nah, bruh. Nah, fam, that's a scam. That's a scam, bruh. That is a scam. 100%. That's 100% a scam, dog. Please don't fall for it. Yeah. Charles Gooden said, looks like kids learning how to play soccer on a basketball court. Just awful. Just awful. I Get these folks their money back, NBA. Get these folks their money back. What a sad situation you got in your G League organization. Who's in charge of player development that they thought this was a good idea? You're not developing any of these guys into anything. Into anything. There's no way anyone that we saw from those 10 players makes the team. Of all the people who will try out, I think Detroit actually signed the guy last year to their G League team. So kudos to that guy for realizing his hoop dream. But if the 7 teams that did this, let's say you roughly get 200 guys at 250 a pop, you might get 2 of them that make the team. So out of 300 guys, you get 2 guys that make it, and not even in the same tryout. This can't be worth the squeeze. This can't be. Cut this out, NBA. You should be better than this. Y'all got a lot of problems as it is. Let me just embarrassing. And shout out to the Sporting Tribune. Hey, apparently, if the show is jumping on YouTube or it's glitching or whatever the hell it's doing on YouTube, the show is available on multiple platforms. You could try watching the show on Facebook. You know, you could try to continue to try to struggle through YouTube. You can go to Twitch. You can go to X. You can go to Kick. You know, one of my Kick bots will show up in here in a second. I get a Kick bot now every day on the show, so that's good. That means the show's growing and progressing if the Kick bots are showing up. Next thing I want to talk about, because now I think everybody's here. I think the people who want to hear the Padre content is here. Listen to me, and listen to me clearly. That was miserable yesterday. That was miserable what we saw yesterday from the San Diego Padres. And back firing strong on the Peloton, man. The Peloton Padres strike again. This time with a new addition. You trade for this guy, and he ain't no different than the other guy. That was a rough watch yesterday. I got to tell you, man. That was a very rough watch. I'm trying to pull up the full box score. Here it is. So yesterday, Casey Mize, 3 1/3, 9 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned runs. So he gave up all of them. 3 walks to go along with that. 1 strikeout, 1 home run. He had only given up 6 home runs to go into this game, as I remember from yesterday, on 77 pitches. I don't know why Cannon is still on the team, but they brought Cannon in, and he gave up 2 more for show. I told y'all about this Brett character. When I saw who the Padres were playing, I said, uh-oh, because I had no idea who this pitcher was. He had a high ERA and a losing record. I said, this man finna have a night. I said, this man finna have a night. Didn't I tell y'all that yesterday? If you were a part of this show yesterday, if you were a part of the conversation that we had yesterday, I told y'all, whoever this guy is who I never heard of, buddy ass finna have a night. And he had a career night against the San Diego Padres. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what this means. I don't know where this is going. I have no idea why every time they play a guy who everybody else gets their ass kicked by, this guy turns into Nolan fucking Ryan against the Padres. I mean, this dude was throwing lights out yesterday. I don't get it. I wish I knew how to explain it to you. The man went 7 innings, gave up a hit, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. He had more walks than innings pitched, if I remember correctly, when I was going through his stats. I was terrified of this man. I was right. I get terrified when any Padre team faces a pitcher with a losing record and a high ERA. Because, buddy, they get their ass cooked like clockwork. There wasn't much in this. I mean, listen, Casey Mize, it was his first game, and Casey Mize, to his credit, has had a career year pitching for another team. You show up in a Padre uniform and you give up 8 earned runs. 8 earned runs in 3 1/3. And it wasn't like, he got blitzed. They let him try to fight through it. They let him try to battle through it. In 3 1/3, he gave up 77. He gave 77 pitches. They gave him 77 pitches. 9 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned. Can't have nice things, man. Can't have nice things. Luckily, sports isn't dating, and he will get another opportunity, to make a first impression. But God damn, that was pathetic. And it happens. It happens. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, this was a bad trade, because this happens, but this is the fear. This is the fear when you make a trade at the deadline. Because you don't, and let me explain why I say that. You don't know these guys' psyche. I don't know what Robbie Ray is going to do. I think Robbie Ray will probably be a little more, because Robbie Ray's pitched in Petco before. He's familiar with the park. When you make a trade like this, as a professional athlete, and I'm not crying for rich guys, so don't get me wrong, but I'm telling you about the human side of it. When you make a trade like this, I don't know whether this guy's got family, but now you got to move your family. If you have kids, you got to move your kids. Because where would you rather live, San Diego, Detroit? So, but if you got a wife and kids, you got to make that decision. Hey, man, the summer's almost over. School starts for my kids on Monday. So school's about to start in the Michigan school district at some point in time, I'm sure of it. The season's almost over. Do you move your entire family to San Diego for, August, September? For 2 months? Getting traded like that is such a whirlwind. Yeah, I'm sure his mind was somewhere else. But 8 runs, dog? 8 runs? New catcher, new pitching coach, new dugout, new teammate, new uniform. Most baseball players are creatures of habit, guys who are locked into routines. So but 8 runs, dog? 8 runs? I'm willing to give him multiple starts to get his bearing. I think pitching in San Diego is going to be helpful for him because he doesn't give up a lot of home runs. And again, he was having the best year of his career. But yes, Graham, that was a absolute island level performance. I mean, that was rough to watch. And I watched this one because I wanted to see it. I'm watching Robbie Ray on Friday as well. Because I want to see these guys in Padre uniforms and see what they can do. See if they somehow, some way can have us build a good 3-headed monster as we make a playoff run. But god damn, bro, 8 runs against a team you're in competition with for the wild card spot. Today's game is critical. It's not, again, I'm not talking end of the season shit. I'm just saying today's game is critical. You can't lose 3 out of 4 to a team you chasing. Because now they're 2 behind the Phillies, and they're also 2 behind the Diamondbacks now as well. So that's a rough watch. I would hate for them to have fought this way, get this close, and then now you got to figure it out. They're 2 games behind the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. And I think they got another game today, and then you got them coming back to Petco, and I think they're going to face Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Houston. They face Houston. And then after that, they face Milwaukee. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Shout out to WVC 801. But that's usually VC Smirks, I'm sure. Shout out to going to Twitch and watching the show. Is it buffering over there? Shout out to coming through with the Twitch account. While you there, VC, follow your boy on Twitch. So yeah, man. Ass Island, for sure. 100%. Ass Island level performance. I won't put him on Ass Island, but he might give me another one of these. He on Ass Watch. Casey Mize, you give me another one of these performances, brother. You on Ass Watch. Shout out to Ass Technology, no lag on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, man. So I don't know, man. It's a rough that was rough yesterday. There's no need to talk about Tatis's home run or them scoring 4 runs in the 9th inning. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. That game was over, man. That game was over. And by the way, check the formula. 5-1, 9-4, 10-4. They win. When they lose a game where they give up a lot of runs, they don't score a lot of runs. They win a game where they get a lot of runs because and they just win because they got a lot of runs. And then you get blown out. And I consider when someone puts double digits up in you in a baseball game and you don't get double digits, buddy, that's a blowout. So today, if they lose 1-0 today, I might break something. Because today feels like a 1-0 loss. Today feels like a 2-0 loss. I don't know, man. Today feels like a 1-0 loss. That's what today feels like. And I hate that. I hate to say that. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy, man, but it feels like today's a 1-0 loss day. And it's tough. Shout out to Ryan Miller in the building. It's tough, man. Tito says, Padres need to win tonight. Astros coming into Petco Mignon and AZ plays the Dodgers. And I'm also more concerned about playing Milwaukee after playing Texas. Houston, I'm sorry. This is tonight's game does 2 things for you. If you win, it keeps you in contention. It keeps you within a game. And when you're within a game, a lot can flip-flop in the span of a week. And the season only got about 7 weeks on it. I wouldn't see Ryan, I wouldn't start doing that. This is what we're trying to avoid. I wouldn't say today's the season because if you drop today, the Dodgers will get healthy. And by healthy, I mean they will begin to win games against the division. The best thing that could happen to the Dodgers is about to happen to them. They're about to start playing divisional opponents. That's a shot in the arm for the Dodgers if they've ever needed one. That right there, divisional opponents. So as I'm looking at this totality, as I back out and I look at this, tonight's important. I don't think it's the killer, but it is tonight is very important because at some point, in some way, they're gonna have to figure out a way to continue to put wins together, even after you lose a couple. They had a good recent streak, but before that, if you remember, it was miserable around here. And it doesn't help when you bring in reinforcements, and those reinforcements are worse than what you have. This was one of the things I thought about Mize. I thought with Casey Mize, at least you will make it out of the first inning. He didn't make it much further than that. Three in the third, 8 runs, all of them earned. Left the game with the bases loaded. Ruben Niebla, you got some work to do, buddy. And again, I'm gonna cut Casey Mize some slack. I'm gonna cut Robbie Ray some slack because when you are traded like this and you have to go and perform, depending on your family situation, depending on your living situation, this throws a lot of your personal life up in the air. And baseball players are such massive creatures of habit. They're very superstitious people, and they like routine. And a trade of this magnitude from one part of the country so far to another part of the country, it's just different. You go in the locker room, you've been with the same guys for 5 months, and now the next day you don't recognize any of these people. You don't know any of these dudes. The energy is different, the vibe's different. Even if guys are welcoming, you may have a crew you went to lunch with every day. You may have somebody who you sat next to on the plane. So they just like these things during these trades. All I ask is that we give him a couple of starts, not 2. I'm talking about 3, maybe 4. Because by the 3rd start, if he doesn't look better, if this doesn't look like it's on the upswing, this was a miss. I don't think that's going to happen with Robbie Ray because, again, Robbie Ray's very familiar with the division. But if Buddy can give you more than what he gave you yesterday, this going to be a miss, dog. He going right to Ass Island. he going right to Ass Island. Let me pop the trunk. Casey Mize, I don't want to see you on Ass Island, dog. Don't make me have to call them people to come pick you up. I don't want to have to do that for you, Casey. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Detroit's a terrible place. I know you're in shock. Ryan O'Hearn was great everywhere but here. Either you work in San Diego or you don't. By the way, that's become a fascinating phenomenon. Either you work here or you don't. And I don't know what that mixture is. Again, I don't know the formula that leads to that. Either guys work here or they don't. Ryan O'Hearn was great in Baltimore, and Ryan O'Hearn's great. I think I can't remember, but I know he's got a lot of home runs right now. So this, yeah, Tito, 8 Mile is Ass Island. So last night was tough, man. Last night was tough. That's a rough debut, man. It really is. Before we get into the fun stuff, do you guys know what's happening tonight? Do you know what's happening tonight? Football. Did you know that? Did you know that tonight the start of the NFL season becomes official when the Cardinals play the Panthers double The Hall of Fame game is 2 snaps of people you know, and then a bunch of dudes that's going to be bagging groceries and hosting their own pod. This is always an interesting day for me whenever the Hall of Fame game comes because the Hall of Fame game always sneaks up on you. I always look up and go, oh no, oh wait, hey, Hall of Fame game. But the Hall of Fame game got to schedule better teams, dog. Why were you trying to give me Cardinals Panthers? Who from those teams are going to the Hall of Fame? Let me check the Hall of Fame list tonight. Hold on. Class of 2026 Hall of Fame football. Listen. All right, let's talk about the class. What the okay. So is again now, keep in mind, it's the Panthers against the Cardinals. Drew Brees, okay, never played for either team. Larry Fitzgerald, Cardinal. Luke Kuechly, Carolina Panther. Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig. This is a very weak class. This is a very weak class. What if Adam Vinatieri is Adam Vinatieri the best player in this class? Not to shit on anybody going into the Hall of Fame because it's a tremendous honor. And Drew Brees had a great career, but Drew Brees is like an acquired taste. I mean, you know, I wouldn't say Drew Brees is one of the greatest football players ever. I wouldn't say Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I wouldn't put Drew Brees in that category, but Drew Brees did have a Hall of Fame career. Larry Fitzgerald is a legendary wide receiver. You can miss me with Luke Kuechly. He just made a lot of tackles. Adam Vinatieri nailed a ton of kicks. Roger Craig was a great running back, but nah. And he was elected via the Senior Blue Ribbon Committee. What? What? The Senior Blue Ribbon Committee. Listen. Excuses says would have been Rivers, but he wanted to play again. Do you really think he's a Hall of Famer? Do you guys think Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer? Yo, Christina Ava. Do y'all think Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer? I don't know. I don't know. But football's happening tonight. So that's all that matters. It's back. Excuseless. That's not a fair argument. As Technology says, NFL Hall of Fame is all messed up with requirements and limits on how they're selected. Yeah, man, this is terrible. I believe in Deion. I believe what Deion Sanders said. There should be a separate wing. There should be the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame should build another building and call it, the upper room or whatever. All right, Ava, I'll check your message out when I get after this. Look, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I'm with Deion Sanders, bro. The Hall of Fame needs they need another wing, bro. They need another level. They need an upstairs. They need an upstairs and a basement. The Hall of Fame needs an upstairs and a basement. You put all these, so I want to get this right. Hold on. You put the Senior Blue Ribbon Committee people downstairs. You put those people downstairs. Drew Brees goes on the main floor. The upstairs, reserved. The upstairs at the Hall of Fame, buddy, different kind of jacket. I'm serious. Eighth in passing yards in the history of the league. And this is why I argue with people. You are correct, Graham. That is an actual statistic. That is a real thing. He is eighth in passing in the history of the league. They pass now more than they ever did when a guy like Jim Kelly played, or Dan Marino played, or Troy Aikman played, Warren Moon. The way that the ball is passed in the era of the Drew Brees era, the Tom Brady era, Peyton Manning era, the ball is passed far more than it ever was in the 90s, in the 80s. And I don't like to compare eras, but you can accumulate these statistics because you pass more, because the offense has changed. I'm not saying Drew Brees is not a Hall of Famer. I'm saying he had a Hall of Fame career. Drew Brees had a Hall of Fame career. If you had the seventh pick of all time quarterbacks, will Drew Brees be gone by the time you get your pick? Like that's how I evaluate those things. If he's got the sixth most touchdown passes in NFL history, okay, we're gonna do an all-time draft. I'm gonna give you the seventh pick. Will he be there when it's your turn to pick? Most importantly, are you taking him? If I gave you an all-time quarterback draft, are you taking Drew Brees with the number seventh pick? I'm just, I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions. I think if you're going to do this, I think if you have multiple levels to a Hall of Fame, you got your basement floor, you got your regular floor, and then you got your upper room. The upstairs is the grown folks table. Drew Brees ain't going up there, dog. Sorry. Yeah, Graham. No. I'm not discrediting. I'm not discrediting his stats. I'm putting his stats in context. I'm putting his stats in context. So you're telling me you would rather have him than Dan Marino? You would rather have Drew Brees than John Elway? You would rather have Drew Brees than Joe Montana? Like these are the. So I'm not discrediting his statistics. I'm just the game did evolve. The game is better, by the way. The game is better. I'm not saying that version of football was better than this. This version of football is better. It's more appealing to the eyeball. I'm not discrediting his career in any sense. What I'm saying is, if you're the seventh pick in a quarterback draft all time, will he be there when you pick? And are you picking him? That's my question. If we're having a multi-level Hall of Fame, if it's a basement, I say he makes the main floor, but he ain't going upstairs. Come on, man. Come on, man. The question was, is he a Hall of Famer? Yeah. I'm not saying he's not. I asked, is Philip. Now, if you're having the Philip Rivers conversation, because I want to make sure we're having the same conversation, the answer for me is no for Philip Rivers. The answer for me is no. 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 Philip Rivers had some of the most talent you could ever have. Philip Rivers had a Hall of Fame running back, a Hall of Fame tight end, and had weapons every year at wide receiver. Had a above average offensive line his entire career, not a single Super Bowl. If you have a Hall of Fame running back, a Hall of Fame tight end, above average offensive line your entire career, and good weapons your entire career on the outside, I'm talking wide receiver, you should have a Super Bowl. Sorry. Eli Manning was a below average talent. He got two Super Bowls. He won his Super Bowls. Statistically, there's nothing impressive about Eli Manning. Nothing. Statistically, nothing is impressive about Eli Manning. He's got two Super Bowls, and he beat Tom Brady to get them. So, you know, opinions. I got one more thing. Oh, that's not it. Where are you at? One more thing. I got one more thing. I saw something on the internet. Let me see if I can find it here. Because I saw something on the internet and it really made me realize how many dudes are lonely these days. I saw something on the internet and it made me realize how lonely some of y'all are. Hold on. Let me go because I want y'all to see what the fuss is about. I want y'all to see what the fuss is about. Because this requires you seeing it. This requires you seeing it more than it requires me explaining it. This needs a visual aid. Now, what I'm about to show you happened yesterday at Chargers camp. I'm about to show you something from Chargers camp. That is Justin Herbert with his fiancee, Madison Beer, I believe it's pronounced. There are so many people going super meathead sports fan about the way he's hanging out with his fiancee at camp. By the way, it's not like she's the only female there. If you look around, this is clearly a family day of some sort. There are kids running around. There's women sitting in the background. There are people just yucking it up. For some reason, people are looking at this and saying, "Oh, the Chargers aren't going to win anything because look at this guy's in love. This guy's in love, buddy. Are you that lonely? Are you that deprived of female attention that you think that these guys got to be 100% football all the time?" Again, there's a little girl running through the screen. Not his, but there's a little. This is clearly family day of some sort. The fact that this man has balance in his life, the fact that this young man has found someone to love to this degree that he will publicly, they are running their fingers through each other's hair in a public place on a large patch of grass at his job. Everybody should want this, regardless of what sports you play. The fact that people are saying this is why the Chargers won't win, buddy, it tells me way more about you than it does him. It really does. How you gonna be upset that somebody's in love, bruh? Over some football? This man is in love, and there are these jokers on the internet talk about the Chargers ain't gonna win because he not focused on football. Some of y'all are dumb. Some of y'all are real meatheads. Some of y'all are actual bozos. Some of y'all are real bozos, man. That y'all don't think this man can be happy. Now, VC Smirk says Chargers aren't winning regardless. And that might be true. That might be true. But it won't be because he in love. It won't be because of that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. This Joseph Cabal, bro. This is not Romo and Jessica Simpson. Cut that out. Cut that out. This is real. That was for show. This is real. This ain't for pictures. This ain't for popularity. This is real. And I tell people this, because this is my philosophy about this. Let me stop the music. Hold on. Stop the music. Stop the music. Stop the music. Stop the music. This is my philosophy on this. If you have work-life balance, you are a better worker, you are a better partner. If you have work-life balance, you are more likely to succeed in your job because it is not your life. It is not everything you do. It's not the reason you wake up. You have to have work-life balance. Justin Herbert can be a Hall of Fame quarterback and lead the Chargers to a Super Bowl and be in love with his girlfriend or his fiancée. You do know, great point, excuses. Taylor and Travis Kelsey celebrated at the Super Bowl when they won. Work life balance is very important. Just because Tom Brady was obsessed with football and he didn't care about his kids, apparently, and his wife was banging a karate teacher, that ain't, to me, to me, to me, the fact that she ain't no 5, Merlin Santos. Come on, bro. Come on, Maryland. She ain't no 5, bro. Nah. She about a 9. I give her a 9, buddy. She a little thin for me, but I give her a 9. That if you gonna be in love publicly, that's a good one to be in love publicly with. Like again, and this is my knock on Tom. As great as Tom Brady was as a quarterback, your wife was banging the karate teacher, dog. Come on now. What are we doing? Your quarterback goat's wife was getting banged by the karate teacher. Maybe his work-life balance was off. Maybe as he was winning Super Bowls, somebody else was winning Super Bowls in his house. You get Graham. See Graham mad. Graham don't want to see this love. So I don't understand it. All right, bring the music back. Shout out to y'all, man. I prefer when people have a work-life balance. They're in love. They're with a partner or a significant other. It makes the day better. I want somebody who can focus on the positives of life and not the negatives. That's all, man. That's all, man. If you think Justin Herbert ain't gonna be good at football no more because he got a girlfriend who runs her fingers through his hair, I feel bad for you. Y'all do better, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.